One was chosen back during the Great Witch War, and it appears that one is being chosen now.
Yes, everybody's heard of the WWE, the witching, warring witches everywhere.
Yes, it is quite the spectacle. A little more dramatic than I like, but you know, it's not too bad.
I heard it was all fake, just staged.
No,
No,
that's
it
not
can't be.
possible.
Hello, adventurer. This is our Curse of Strahd actual playthrough. As always, it is a safe for work and story-driven D&D campaign. If this is your first time viewing, we recommend that you start on episode 1. Otherwise, stick around to be transported into the cursed lands of Barovia. Last time, our party arrived at the old mill, where they confidently made their way to the entrance. They were greeted by a beautiful young woman named Bella, who welcomed them into the shop. Bella soon began to have conversations with Zeno in his mind, but Silas quickly let the cat out of the bag and called Bella out for being a witch. Bella countered Silas and began trying to make deals with both him and Killian. She offered Killian an advantage against Strahd and Silas back his memories. But they both reluctantly turned down the offers as the costs were too high. They then continued their conversation where Zeno began to feel like he may have made a mistake and wished to only talk to Granny M. While they waited for Granny M to return, Silas had the idea to pass the time with a friendly game of poker. They all agreed and began to play. Bella won the first round, but Silas had something in mind for the second round. After setting himself up for a nice advantage, Silas offered a new bet. Silas offered to give up his hope for the bargain that Bella originally offered. Bella upped the ante and said she will go in on it if Irina is part of the bet. Silas eventually agreed and Killian backed out, even though he had the winning hand. Surprise, surprise. Luckily, Silas won the bet. But right as the party was about to leave, Granny M walked in and declared, "Let's talk." And that's where we're going to start our session. So, Granny M, as she had just walking through the door, she makes her way into the bakery. She pulls up a chair next to all of you, lights a candle, and as you can see outside, the sun is beginning to set behind the hills. And she turns to you and she says, "Now, it appears that the gig is up. So, let's just get right to it then. What is it that you want?" As she turns and looks at all of you.
I would like more information about the Witch Queen and what she wants.
All right.
how I can best serve her here. On any of the goals that might align.
Okay, that is interesting. And what about the rest of you? Why have you come?
Follow him, as I point at Zeno.
Just along for the ride.
All right. Well, I will tell you this. As she turns back to you, Zeno. Information is not free. Are you willing to pay what it takes to get the information that you need?
And that depends on the price. How much?
I need you to do a task for me.
Okay.
She kind of smiles. I need you to take something from me and give it to someone else. Simple as that.
Who might this other person be? Are they a friend or an enemy?
Well, it depends on what side are you on. He could be a great... And she kind of thinks. Way to get information.
An asset. Inside
Yes.
man, maybe.
Exactly.
As to what side I'm on, I suppose I'm on my side and my friend's side. Obviously, we have our own personal goals and aspirations. But I'm not such a fool as to only chase after my aspirations. Where can we find this man?
We will get into that later. For now, do we have an agreement?
With the stipulation that my two friends here not be implicated or gone after by you or any of your lovely sisters. With you agreeing
And
to
or
that,
associates.
then we have a deal. And I'll
So
reach out
long
my
as-
long spindly
Okay.
hand.
And then she'll add on her stipulations. So long as they don't do anything to put themselves in ill favor with us, they will remain safe. She'll shake your hand.
Okay, deal.
And you, Zeno, are very familiar with a witch's bargain or a witch's bond. And so you know that as you are doing this, you can feel the magics working. And you know that this is something that is binding on both ends.
Yeah.
And so they will be held accountable just as much as you are. And she says, very well. So, about the information.
Yes, please tell me. I'm very curious.
It all depends on what it is that you want to know about the Witch Mother. She is a deity. She is our ancestor, the first of our kind. She blessed the very first hag with her magics. And for millennia, she was free. But like many small deities, found herself trapped. And with that came a desire to reach out and always have what some may consider a champion or an avatar, whatever you wish.
And I'm only one of 2 males to have ever been chosen.
And she kind of looks at Bella and then back at you. Yes.
Interesting.
One was chosen back during the Great Witch War to lead all of the various covens. And it appears that one is being chosen now.
Yes, everybody's heard of the WWE, the warring witches everywhere.
Yes, it is quite the spectacle. A little more dramatic than I like, but you know, it's not too bad.
I heard it was all fake, just staged.
No,
No,
that's
it
not
can't be.
possible. I suppose I'm curious what she wants with me. How does she feel about Strahd?
And she smiles at that. Strahd is special. He himself is a champion. And he rules this land as the Dark Lord. And I believe that Bewitched Mother wants hers in charge. But sadly, her current one, she has things. She keeps Strahd maybe a little bit close to her heart, one might say.
Very, very interesting.
So, if you wish to be her new champion, her new heir, there are a few things that you would need to do this. Many of those are unknown, and you will need to commune with the Great Mother for these steps, as each journey is personal. But one thing can be certain. You will need to kill the previous champion of hers. As there can only be one.
That aligns well with my goals. Strahd had to go one way or the other. What sort of preparations are you speaking of? Trials, challenges,
I'm not sure.
acquisitions?
As I said, each is different.
And I suppose I'm safe to assume that's for her to know and me to commit to, in a manner of speaking.
She has a very big smile that again This old face almost seems to crack under this large smile. And she says, "Now you're getting it. But I will warn you, her current champion, she is not one to be taken lightly."
I wouldn't be such a fool to assume so. And
I would hope not.
in her head, I'm gonna say, that's why I have these two after all.
And you hear again in your head, "Oh, that makes a lot more sense. I was curious as to your relationship with these creatures."
If you don't have a traveling coven, you just have friends for cover. But they are good friends. Where can I... This is out loud now. I'm speaking out loud. Where can we find this friend that we're going to acquire?
Well, she lives in the marshes, the swamp by the old ruins. Her name is Baba Saga. And again, she is very powerful. As she gets her source directly from the Witch Mother, she will be challenging to kill, but well worth the sacrifice. She again, big toothy smile.
Does this also benefit you in some way? Do you get up a peg? Getting rid of Baba Saga? La Saga?
Well, I'm just here to help a fellow person of interest. But then in your head, you hear her say, "I would hope that by helping you, you would indeed be a more powerful ruler who would know that we are willing to do what you wish."
You are I'm saying this out loud. You are a wiser woman than I imagined. Reasonable as well. I think we have an understanding.
Good.
So
Good.
as far as that goes, is there any other services or information that would assist us in moving forward?
Why, yes. There are a few things that you may need to know as you go about this land that I will give you for free. And she kind of gives you a little wink.
So kind.
Yes. traveling about this land, you learn many things, and we have been here for quite some time. We have found that this is not only Strahd's land, but Strahd is the land. He has powers over the ground, the skies, the weather itself. He holds in the palm of his hand. And along with that are its people. He has spies everywhere, including the Vistani, who in a lot of cases are his personal lapdogs. It is best to keep them aware of. We know of 2 Vistani camps in this land. One is located on the shores of the Desert Pool, and the other is located outside the skirts of Vallaki. Aside from that, they travel wherever they wish, including outside of the borders. But those are their 2 main sources. And some say that they do not fully get along, but they are all Vistani.
So I'm hearing that those could be good places for misinformation to get spread about.
Yes. But if you're not careful, it might just get spread a little bit out of your pay grade, if you know what I mean.
Yes. I think we've already kind of ran into one of those. What was his name? Silas, what was that guy's name that we came across?
Which one?
The Strahd's lapdog.
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't remember?
Yeah, I don't either.
I have it somewhere.
He's just a dog.
Rahadin.
It starts with a V.
It's
No,
Rahadin.
Rahadin.
Rahadin. What? I was wrong. It did.
Nice.
Yes. Rahadin. He is from a race long lost, but he does a lot for Strahd. But you do need to remember that Strahd has many allies, but also many enemies. Some of which are very powerful. They are not living, but neither dead. They cannot die until they fulfill their oaths. These fallen knights are of the Order of the Silver Dragon and live in a ruined mansion just west of Vallaki. And Killian, that would spark your interest as your conversation with your brother. He also mentioned the House of the Dragon, and this kind of perks your interest.
Said the Knights of what now? The Knights of Silver.
Silver Dragon.
The Order of the Silver Dragon.
Order
That
of
one.
the Silver Dragon. What was it that she said about knights again?
The
They're
Fallen Knights.
The Fallen Knight, the 7 Fallen Knights. Is that what you said?
No,
No,
the
just a
Fallen
bunch of
Knights.
them.
Okay.
Now, Lastly, and this is a secret that many do not know. This is something that I only tell you out of good favor.
Do go on.
But there is much secret in this land. But Strahd's most guarded secret lies in a temple, a forbidden lore made of amber. It sleeps hidden in the mountains, far away from prying eyes. If you wish to go to this temple, you will make your way up a winding path called Solinka Pass. There you will find many hidden secrets, including possibly a tomb where the Witch Queen is rumored to have been trapped, along with many other dark secrets.
It sounds like my
But-
kind of place.
Yes.
I think I'd go just to see, just to feel the heebie-jeebies.
Yes, but be wary. This place is guarded by ancient and powerful magic far greater than anything of this world.
Duly noted. There's always a workaround.
Yes.
This is so much to write down. I'm just gonna have to go back to through the VOD and just write it down because I'm like, I'm just like writing one word. Many allies and enemies for Strahd, border of Silver Dragon, West Velaki.
Yeah, there's kind of a big old lore dump.
It's good. It's good.
Yep, we're gonna have to go back and listen to the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I will. Is there any others in these lands who you trust?
I do not trust many people.
Good.
Although my daughters,
Yes.
I trust them.
So
And
you're,
now,
you're one big
I hope
family.
that I trust you.
Well,
Yes.
it's always good to have close friends. People you can rely on.
Agreed. Speaking of rely on, I have told you what you need to know. Now, it is time for you to keep up your end of the bargain. And she turns to Bella. She says, please, go and get your sister. And she kind of does a little nod and she walks around and goes up the stairs.
Bella had mentioned that her sister sometimes doesn't like outside folk. I want to be assured that there will be no funny business from her.
I will keep my end of the bargain, but so long as there's none on your end, there will be none on my end.
Oh, excellent. I love a good deal. Especially with somebody who's so classy.
Well, the words are right out of my mouth.
And just then you hear footsteps coming down the stairs. And you see Bella come down, and followed behind her is a more well-built woman. She still has kind of a prettier face, but you definitely can see that she is taller than Bella and appears to be much, much stronger than her physically, and is not quite as beautiful as Bella is. And Granny M says, "This is my other daughter, Ophelia. She was upstairs keeping track of things."
I'll step forward and give a little bow and stick out my hand. Pleasure to meet you, Ophelia. My name is Zeno.
And she'll reach out and she'll kind of shake your hand and say, "It is good to meet you. You must be the one that I've felt the presence of from upstairs."
Oh, I feel honored.
And then she kind of nods and looks at the other two, but stands off to the side as well, kind of in the back. And Granny M turns to you and she says, "Ophelia, may I have the eye?" She reaches out her hand, and Ophelia reaches into one of the pockets in her dress and pulls out what appears to be an eyeball. But it almost looks like it's made out of stone. But it's also far too detailed to have been carved by just hands alone. It almost looks like there's depth in it, but it's still hard. And she sets it into Granny M's hand. And she puts it on the table.
And what might this be?
This is the item that I need you to deliver. And you see that as she puts it on the table, that it's connected to a golden chain, almost like a necklace. And she says, "This will help us keep an eye on our dear Lord Strahd, to make sure that he stays in line with us."
And is this for me to give to him?
No.
And I'm
No.
killing Babala Saga, right? Sorry, I just want to make sure to clarify.
Yes. If you wish to be the champion, you must get rid of the previous one.
Okay, well that's easy enough. So what exactly, or how exactly do we use this? As I'll pick up one side of the necklace and start inspecting it.
She says, you will not be using it. There is a man or a creature who calls himself
Calls himself what?
I just lost all my notes. Okay.
Oh, I thought you froze. I thought you froze is why. You were so still.
His name
Does that mean we get to name him now?
His name is Joe. So his name
Butts.
is Cyrus.
That's my name.
Cyrus
No,
Bellevue.
Cyrus.
Oh, sorry, I couldn't understand you through the accent.
That's why I had to make sure on the name, because I was like, I know it's really close, but I gotta get it right. So, Cyrus Bellevue.
Yeah.
And
Bellevue?
Bellevue. Belview.
Okay.
Bellevue. He is a servant of Strahd. But we have a deal with him. Which information is not part of our bargain. But I need you to get this eye to him without Strahd or anyone else knowing about it.
That can be arranged. Where might we
Where-
find him?
Well, where else would a servant be but in Strahd's castle?
Exciting.
Yes.
Silas, are you up for a little infiltration mission? Or how about you, Gillian? A little scouting mission. We can find out more information about Strahd's castle and gain an inside man at the same time.
I'll go get my ski mask.
You have one of those.
I'm out. This guy, Cyrus, he never leaves Strahd's castle. Ever.
Well, you see, Cyrus is kind of a coward. And he believes that if he stays near Strahd and in his goodwill, he will survive. So, he now works for the devil. Because it's better to work for him than be on the receiving end of his fury.
I don't imagine you'd be so kind as to divulge any weaknesses of this Cyrus.
Yeah, does he have any family?
He has much family. Or at least, what he would consider family. But I don't believe that any of them would be of use to you. But I can guarantee you that a coward is always a coward. So,
Well, I don't know if there's any other questions that I can think of. How about you two? Anything you can think of that could help us?
When does this need to be done by? Because we have some unfinished business in Vallaki first.
Yes.
well, seeing as we did not specify a time, there's nothing I can hold you to, but the sooner we can have eyes on the devil, the better.
Well, then I suppose that's for up to us to decide, but I'm also on board for finishing the contract that we already have, seeing as how we agreed to it first. And I'd rather not be a creature that doesn't keep its word. But you can rest assured it will be done expediently as possible.
Good.
I'm kind of lean into
I
Silas.
appreciate.
This is why you are a great asset. I mean, I didn't even think of asking a time frame. I just got so excited by the idea of it that we'll talk a bit more about it later.
You definitely got excited by the eyeball. Let's not lie, Zeno.
I did.
Yeah.
I just went
Look,
catatonic
we're all-
almost at that point. It was just like, let me get it and, go, but... Well, as I turn back to the witches, I think I'm in the mood for a pecan pie, and I'll pull out a gold piece. And then we should probably be off.
Excellent. But she kind of looks outside, and you see that now the sun is set and it is dark. She says, if you wish, you may stay the night and travel in the morning.
Nope, you don't ever stay in a witch's hovel, okay? That would be a rookie mistake to go sleep in a witch's hovel. You don't know what kind of stuff.
Yeah.
There could be binding contracts that you didn't even know you signed.
We're so close.
You slept here. Looks like you gotta stay forever.
You think Felix's death was an accident?
Listen, we appreciate the hospitality, but we must be getting on the road.
Well,
Yes, I agree with Silas.
be it yourself, whatever you wish. And just then you kind of hear a muffled voice coming from upstairs, and Granny M gives a death glare to Ophelia. She says, and then Ophelia goes up the stairs. Well, whatever you want. You are free to stay or go.
Yes, we must bid thee farewell for the evening. But we will see each other again.
I look forward to it.
If there's anything else that we can do for you, reach out.
I would suggest the same.
I will.
You know where we are.
And we're
Yeah,
not,
we do.
And we're not going anywhere.
I will say this real quick as I rifle through my things and pull out the deed to this windmill.
Oh yeah, true.
Y'all want to trade for this? I'm not in the mind to be, a landlord over tenants. But also, I don't want to give it up for nothing, you know what I mean?
She kind of takes the paper from your hand and reads over it. Hands it back to you. Far as I'm concerned, that's just a piece of paper. I don't follow Barovian law. We've lived here for a long time. If you want it, you may take it. Otherwise,
I'm good.
Good.
Silas kind of like rips up the deed.
Well, there goes those base ideas.
Pretty much, yeah.
We'll have to find
Yeah.
a new one. This hideout's taken. Let's find a new one, boys.
Yeah. Yeah, we best be going now.
I think so. Thank you again, as I'll collect my pie and open the door for the rest of our party. Killian, get Irina.
You got it.
And I will
Okay.
make my exit.
all right. And as you leave, the door again creaks, kind of shut, and it is dark outside, and you see that obviously the light coming from the windmill is kind of coming out the windows, and you see a faint light also sitting on the hill back behind the windmill, whereas
Where the
previously
monoliths are.
were the monoliths. Yes.
Well, I'll light a lantern.
Yes, I'll light mine as well.
Hold it in my left hand.
Should we make our way back towards the road and just camp somewhere along the way?
Yeah, that seems like the best choice, I think.
Okay, let's do that.
Yeah,
And
quickly now, yeah?
I'll start walking fast. And I'll, be striding confidently. And then once we're like 150, 200 yards from the windmill, I'm just gonna find a tree and put my hands up on it and just start breathing really heavy. Oh, that was really intense.
Yeah,
I don't-
was
I
that
don't-
all you had imagined?
No, we shouldn't have gone there.
Yeah.
That was way worse than I thought it was just gonna be a quick, Hey. Oh, I think I should sit down for a second.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Here, let's get a little ways off the road first.
Oh, man.
That got out of hand really quickly. Like, very fast.
Like, it escalated fast. I mean, I thought there was gonna be some, subtlety to it, but... Silas, you just came right out with it and just... Let him know we knew there were witches.
Was that not... Was
No.
it not while we were there, or am I mistaken?
No, I just didn't think... I thought maybe it would be good if they knew that... Well, didn't know that you knew that they were witches, but...
Why?
Well,
Then I'm just a liability.
I mean, yes, it just didn't go how I thought it would.
Yeah.
My head is spinning.
All right, we're almost there. I'm gonna find like a little clearing or something.
Hey, but you
Pocket off the road in the woods.
Okay.
you won that bet. That was...
Yeah, Killian, what cards you have? You folded. I never did end up seeing them.
They weren't that great. They were okay.
Because I know I had stacked my own hand, but it was a bit of a stretch to try and fabricate yours and Bella's. So I
Yeah.
feel like we were most safe with me just stacking my own. I didn't want to go too high either. I feel like 3 jacks is pretty good, betting on that no one would have 3 of anything more than that.
Are you telling me that
Probably not.
you rigged it?
Yeah, I did.
You did.
I did, yeah.
Oh, Silas, I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. I figure stealing from a thief ain't really stealing, right?
No, it's wonderful, actually. I mean, it was immensely risky, but congratulations.
I was ready.
Very risky. It was very
Nah.
risky.
Nah, I mean, one, I had stacked my cards, so knew there
Yep.
was a good chance of me winning. And two, I was ready to blast that witch right in the face. Should something happen and I lose, so.
Yeah, great strategy.
As we're setting up, can we say there's a moment where Irina's like kind of just a little ways away, like sitting down or something?
Oh, she 100% is. She's not at all
Okay, I just want to
talking to you. She's out of the way, just sitting.
I want to say,
You'd better go apologize to that girl if you want to salvage any type of trust, Silas.
Why?
You gambled with her soul.
Yeah, but we won. I knew I was gonna win, too.
Yeah, but she didn't have a choice in it.
Hmm.
What if you had never made your deal and instead someone had made it for you and forced you
Well-
into a life that, well, you didn't get to have a say in? All I'm saying is, you'd better apologize at some point.
Alright. You guys get the fire going, fix some supper, I'll go over.
I know you meant no harm. She just needs to hear that.
Okay, I'm gonna go over to Irina.
And yeah, she's just sitting off, very silent, kind of a little ways from everyone.
Hey.
She kind of looks up at you and then looks back down.
Silas kind of breathes deep and looks towards the guys and then kind of looks back to her. You know I wasn't gonna let anything happen to you, right?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, that's fair. Is she sitting or standing?
She's sitting
On what?
on like a log.
Okay.
There'd be room if you want to sit next to her.
I do, but I do the cool thing that they do in movies where I sit on the other side of the log, so we're facing two separate ways, like we're not actually having a conversation, but we are.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
yeah.
cool thing that they do in movies.
That's what they do whenever there's like a hard conversation to have.
Yeah, and there's like the two chairs, and the dad comes in and sits with the back of the chair to his front.
Yeah, exactly. It's like that,
Yeah.
but she's
But on
sitting
a
on the
log.
log facing one way, and I'm sitting on the log facing
Mhm.
exactly opposite of her, but we're next to each other, so we're looking
Yeah.
in different places.
You can see each other in the peripherals just barely, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but we're not gonna turn,
Yeah.
turn to each other and talk. And I say, well, I wouldn't have. I know probably don't mean much, but I rigged the cards, so one hand I was pretty confident I was gonna win. On the other, even if I'd have lost, I was ready to fight my way out. Get you out. But I am sorry. And I'm gonna pull out a little vial.
Mhm.
I'm gonna say this was just too tempting. I would say you have no idea what it's like to not know who your family is, but you do. I would say you wouldn't know the lengths you go to try and figure that out, but I think we both know you already do. What I did, yeah, it wasn't right. But I chose to do it. Because really, I just gotta know. I just gotta remember what my children's names were. What their faces looked like. How it felt to hold my wife. And I gotta remember what I did wrong to lose it all. Because that much I know is my fault. I don't expect you to forgive me. But I do expect you to understand where I was coming from. And then I'm gonna hold the vial over towards her. And I hope you can trust me. As much as I trust you and Zeno. Take it. Smash it, pour it out. Or, when you see fit, give it back to me. And then I'll know I earned your trust back. And I'm sorry.
You see that she just kind of sits there for a little bit. Then she says, you know, I was expecting to be mad. Expecting to tell you that I will never trust you again. I was expecting to yell and to scream and to run back to Barovia. But I do understand. More than most, I understand. And although and you see that tears begin to kind of fall from her eyes, and she says, I did think of you all as my new family. I know that my brother would never do anything like that. But I guess I'm just too trusting, too forgiving. But, you know, this world has so much hopelessness and dread. I've lived my whole life believing that if I can do what I can to make others feel a little bit less, then I've done enough. And although I may not be able to trust you as much, I understand you. And I'm open to trust you again. But, and you see that she looks up with a little bit of fury in her eyes, and she says, "Never. Bet with my life. Again, if you are going to make a bet, do it with yours." And then she kind of just begins to cry into her arms.
Silas is just gonna sit there for a minute. And he's gonna roll adversity dice. Because he gets the feeling, that that this might have been the same kind of situation that took his other family away from him. It's him just being too prideful and getting what he wants. I forgot what dice I'm on. What am I
You're
on?
on a 4.
I think you're on a D4, yeah.
Sweet.
I think
Love
I should
it.
roll one as well.
Okay. And I believe,
I'm good.
Connor, you or did we say D6?
I'm on a 6.
Okay. Because you got knocked down from an 8 because of Velix.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I got knocked down from a...
Oh.
Well?
Well.
I'll finish up, and then I'll be... Silas just sits there in silence while she cries. Yeah, and I think he just sits there with her.
Okay.
Until she's done, until she leaves, or until they're ready over the camp. Just in silence, just to be with her. Not quite knowing what to say.
Yeah. And while that's going on, we can jump over to Killian and Zeno. So Killian, is there anything that you're doing at this time?
Probably tinkering with something for a minute. I'd
Like
say
a
that
nervous tinkering.
Yeah.
Nervous
He's probably messing with his crossbow that he was building, just tinkering with it.
Yeah.
Messing with maybe like trying to find some kind of like spring for it, or whatever. Shaving
Okay.
down some pieces to make him fit better. I don't know. Smart boy stuff.
Okay.
But then I would go and talk to Zeno. Hey,
Okay.
Zeno, I had something on my chest that I just kind of needed to get off of it. I was wondering if you'd be a, sounding board for me.
Oh, yes. Yes, what's up? As I break my gaze from just staring at Silas and Irina. What can I do for you, Killian?
I just had to tell someone, but I was kind of wrestling with this. See, whenever we were playing cards, I had a little bit of an important decision to make. Not about losing or loss for myself, but winning, you see. Well, I had the better cards. Then I was going to win. And I knew that beforehand. And as much as I wanted that vial of secret sauce, I also didn't want it. And then I also didn't want to take it from Silas. And as much as I wanted to stand up for Irina, because I didn't want to lose Irina to the witch lady, because, that would have kind of sucked. I also didn't want to take, you know, the things that Silas wanted, his memories and.
That's quite noble of you, Killian. Most people, when put in a situation such as that one, kind of get their blinders put up.
As I'll kind of glance towards Silas.
Not that that's always a bad thing, but you should feel proud of yourself, and I hope you do, for not letting that power blind you.
I don't know. It wasn't even. Here lies in where I don't know. As much as, I knew what, I'm sure I would have loved whatever was in that bottle.
Mm-hmm.
The problem was, I just didn't know what it was in it for me. Do you know what I mean? I'm sure whatever it was what I wanted. But I don't know what I would have got.
Killian, forgive me if I'm wrong in this assumption. I feel like you knew what you would have gotten, but are maybe afraid of it, don't want to hear it, which is okay, and I might be way off on this. I think deep in your heart you know, even if it's not a conscious thing.
Maybe, I don't know.
How come you didn't tell Silas? You just told him that you probably would have lost, that their cards weren't that good.
Wait, say that again?
You told Silas that your cards weren't the best.
Oh, that my cards were the best. I don't know. I'm sensitive, and I don't know what he would have done. Hey, Silas. What, boy? He mocked Silas.
That was good.
What, boy?
That was good.
I've been practicing.
Kid.
Hey, Silas. I totally almost won your memories and general hope. You're welcome that I didn't do that.
Yes.
I just thought it was a little.
I think it's all in the presentation of how you go about it. Instead of putting it that way, focus on the not wanting to take it from him, like you said to me. I don't think now, unless you want to. I think eventually you should tell him. He would be appreciative. I've been with him long enough to know. Maybe even a little inspired by you. He might even be like, "Oh, Killian, you're the best. Oh, kid, I want to be like you when I'm older." Or when I have skin.
I don't know. It'd probably be more like, and this might be me just wanting to do more impressions of Silas, but it'd probably be more. It'd probably be more like, "Whatever, kid. I had it under control."
Yes, but in his mind, he wouldn't be feeling that way. Oh, he's such a brick wall sometimes.
Yeah, hard to, read his cards.
Yes. Especially since with disguise self, he has to, like, alter it over and over to change every emotion. I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
That makes sense.
If he wants to raise his eyebrows, he has to do it, like, little by little. I like to imagine it's like that.
Yeah.
I really do think you should tell him sometime. Ooh, what is it?
Yeah, probably. Well, I'll think on it. But anyway, can I see the little magic eyeball that the witches gave you? Give it a once over?
I would love that. I might even have some ideas, ways that we could use it to our advantage as well.
Oh.
While still holding up to our end of the bargain, of course, but there was quite a bit of grey room in that deal that I made.
Yeah. On both ends, I might add.
Yes.
But yeah. Anyway, but if you let me see it, maybe I'll tell you what it does.
I would gladly, and I'll hand it over to you.
I would like to cast Identify
Let's go!
on the pebble eyeball.
Let's go! So
Identify
nice.
for the win.
Yeah, baby.
Tyson's like, it doesn't, you get blocked. You actually need
Doesn't
legend lore.
work.
You need legend
It's a
lore.
rock.
You die.
It's
just,
a bomb.
It's a random rock that kind of looks like an eyeball. The gold isn't even real.
It's a rock of gravity detection. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Yes, that's
what it-
exactly what it is. It's the best item in the whole
my
game.
Okay.
Drop it, see if it works.
Do you want to know what it does?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
Killian wants to build.
as you sit and you look at it, you notice that there's nothing mechanical about this. Okay? This is something that is very, very different than something you've ever seen. But as you kind of begin to channel your magic into figuring out what the workings of this is, you kind of get these premonitions. And you know that it's called a hag's eye.
Eh.
And essentially, you get the feeling that this once belonged to a creature,
Yep, that's what I thought.
but has now been imbued with this weird, it's not even dark magic, it's just witch magic. And now it's taken on a new form. And you get the feeling that this eye can be used by the hags to see from.
Like a scrying eye.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's basically like scrying, but like a little different because it just works every time, all the time, perfectly from this eye only.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And you get this feeling that it was created through a ritual with those witches and can only be used by them. But that's what they would essentially be using it for.
It doesn't do anything else. It's just to keep it, not just look through, see everything around it, hear everything around it.
Yep.
Interesting.
What all does Identify tell you about an object? Does it tell you like the durability of it and things like that?
Let's see. Choose one object that you must touch throughout the casting of a spell. If it is a magic item or some other magic imbued object, you learn its properties and how to use them. Whether it requires attunement to use and how many charges it has, if any. So if it could be used by us, I guess I would
And you would know. Okay.
Yep. If there was any way for us to use it. You learn whether any spells are affecting the item and what they are. If the item was created by a spell, you learn which spell created it. If you instead touch a creature throughout the casting, you learn what spells, if any, are currently affecting it.
Okay. So yeah, you know that a ritual did this. You're not familiar with what ritual, as hag magic or witch magic is very different. No one really understands how it works from the arcane world. Like, witches understand it and they do it all the time, but like, it's weird. There's no rhyme or reason to some of the things, but it just works. So you can't put a name on the ritual, but you do feel that it is connected to them, and if you were to break it, it could hurt them.
Interesting. Anything else?
No, that's it.
All right, so I got the lowdown for you. Basically, just scrying spell. They can see or hear anything around this. So, fingers crossed. They're preoccupied at the moment. But yeah, they can see anything around it.
Interesting.
And if we destroy it in any kind of way, it could hurt them. It could do some damage.
Well,
I don't know how. I don't know how, but I feel like maybe a volcano would probably. That's always a safe bet.
Yes.
Tossing stuff in a volcano usually pans out for the best.
That's probably where it was created. That would make sense.
Probably the only one.
But we don't want to do that, so... Could I have it back now? I have a
Yeah, sure.
special place for it.
Ooh, I like it.
I would like to put it in like an opaque jar. Somewhere hidden in my hovel.
Maybe put it next to like a really bright light, so that way if they try to look into it, they just get blind. They're like, that's
flashbang.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you've got a dirty jar somewhere in there that you can plop it in.
Maybe like one that's like full of mushed up bugs and funguses and just kind of sludge it into the middle of it all.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, I'm very curious.
This will be after I come back out, so I don't have it anymore.
I didn't want to say it while I was holding it, just in case. But I'm very curious if we could... kind of add a virus onto it. Not something that would damage their end of it, but something that could potentially give us the same. That way
Work
we
both
know.
ways?
Yes, that way we know. Interesting, Killian. I hadn't even thought of, like, reverse engineering it, tracing back their magic.
I might be able, maybe.
Maybe we can work together on that.
Yeah. Maybe we can. I mean, you have some study in witchcraft, right? And how the magic works?
Yes, I do, and with your knowledge of arcane, I wonder if we could fuse the two.
I'm sure our combined minds could drum up something good.
This is so exciting. Well, I think I'm going to go begin some work. Have a good rest, Killian.
You too.
And I'll go down in my hovel to have a panic attack.
Damn.
Social battery totally drained.
I'm not gonna sleep tonight.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have a
do
point
you-
of exhaustion.
I'm not gonna
Do
sleep either if
you-
it's any consolation.
Okay, cool.
Do you eat the pie?
The
By
eye,
chance?
yes.
No, the
Oh.
pie. The eye. You're like, oh, go.
I panic and I eat it at one point, and then I freak out and reach down my throat and pull it back out. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't
The
have done
witches,
that. I put it
witches are
back
like,
in the.
what is this place?
I put it back in the jar.
You don't let the intrusive thoughts win.
Close it.
It's like a cartoon. You know, in like the Looney Tunes or whatever, they like open up their mouth and they just like reach in and pull
Yep,
it out.
exactly.
It's like 100%. Like you're just like, "Blunk."
I just put my top teeth on my table and pull my bottom jaw down. Just reach in and grab it. How long is the pie good for? I can't remember.
10 days.
I'm not gonna eat it.
Okay.
I'm gonna save it.
Okay. Silas. As you kind of sit there in silence for quite some time, eventually Irina kind of stops crying and just says, "Believe I should sleep now."
Okay.
Thank you for being honest with me.
Thank you for not hating me.
She kind of gives a smile, a slight smile, and says, "For a moment, I did."
I don't blame you. Does she take the potion? Not like drink it, but
Yeah. She takes it and throws it against the wall. No,
Yeah.
she.
yeah.
She
oh
just
well.
drops. She just drops out a little memory, and every time you do something she doesn't like, she just dumps a little more out. There goes 3 years.
There goes years 11 to 13.
Your wedding vows? God.
She would pick it up and she'd look at it. And she says, I appreciate the offer. But you may have it. And she's just gonna set it down on the log and kind of stand up.
Before she walks away, I kind of catch on and just say, thank you.
Yes, I know perfectly what it's like. But I had the fortune of growing up in a loving home. I also know what it's like to wake up in this land. And that can't be great all on your own. So, if anyone deserves a little bit of happiness to look back on, I guess you've earned it.
I'm not so sure how much happiness is in this. God, I get a feeling that Same thing I did to you tonight, I've done to others I've loved in the past. That doesn't seem too happy to me.
Well, maybe it will give you motivation then to be better next time.
Good night.
Good night. Then she walks off.
Oh, snaps. Snaps for Silas and Killian.
And as you sit there alone on this log, the clouds are thick in the sky, but faint moonbeam kind of hits this greenish blue liquid in this small vial. Kind of glows a little bit.
Ugh,
Chug that bad boy.
I know. And Silas undoes the top. And drinks it.
Damn. And surprising enough, you are able to drink this of a sort.
Mm-hmm.
It might not go down into a digestive system, but
Is it like... It's almost like it goes over my bones, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like
and then it like
covers them.
soaks in to
Yeah.
like your essence, yeah.
Yeah.
And as you do, you kind of take this little shot, this little swallow of magic. At first, you don't feel any different. And as you kind of sit there, all of a sudden you feel immense pain in your body, to the point where you fall over and begin convulsing, and eventually you black out. Killian,
Yes.
you, as Zeno goes into his shell, do you just kind of go back to tinkering?
Yeah. Pretty much. Pretty much.
And as you kind of sit there and tinker, Irina walks over. She doesn't say much, but she kind of lays down to go to sleep. And after a little bit, you hear kind of a noise. Almost a noise of pain coming a little ways off, and you see Silas fall to the ground and just begin to kind of seize.
Yeah, I'd run over to him. I'd run over. He starts to, seize on the ground. Try to hold his head, his neck, make sure he doesn't, hurt himself, and just like giving soothing words, just Gonna be okay. Like, just hold in there. Let me see if there's anything I can.
Sometimes
that's-
it's better to forget the pain.
Yeah, I just hold him, give him soothing words. Just gonna be okay. You just hang in there. We're gonna get through this.
Okay.
Don't die now.
And as you do so, as you kind of are out here, Silas eventually stops and just lays still. Silas. Are you ready for this, Jefferson?
Yeah, there's a couple things that I think you're gonna say, so I'm ready.
Okay. As you have this moment where you fade to black, you wake up as a young child. And this is similar to your other visions that you've had in the past, but it's much more vivid. And it's almost as if you're watching versus even being able to like interact like with your wife as you've done in the past, but it's more as you're viewing this. But feel free to work with me on this. So,
All right.
and you find yourself again as a young child, living through this flash of memories. You see your parents.
Both of them?
You see both of them.
Cool.
You see a mother who's struggling to keep you contained as you're kind of a Riley child. And your father who found himself off at war most of the time. As he would return, he would teach you things as to respect, being the best person you can be, but also how to shoot a gun. He taught you how to survive, how to fight, how to win, but also how to be a good man. And you see these memories continue to fly past you. And you see childhood friend Garrett, his name. His father served with yours. His mother died long ago from disease. And one day he begins living with you. You're not really sure why, but his dad just never came home. Your father doesn't talk much about it. But your dad came home and his never did. And you see that you grow up with him. He's almost like your brother. he too learns to fight from your dad, learns respect. And as you favor the handgun, he kind of likes to sit back with more of the rifles. But you two are both pretty good shots. And you find yourself getting into trouble. And just like Garrett, one day your dad doesn't come home. You're much older than he was, around 15, 16 years old. And you fight a lot with your mom. And one day you fight so much that you leave. Garrett follows you. Protect you, to keep you safe. You don't know why, but he's there. And eventually you run into old friends who have joined some sort of a group, a gang. Do you know what they're called?
Can you give me a second to think about it?
Hey, you're good.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, this episode is so good. So wonderful. So much good role playing.
Yeah. If you're watching this far, you probably like what you're seeing, so like and subscribe.
Yeah.
Put a comment down below what your thoughts are. We want to hear what you think of this whole situation.
Is this going to be the last episode of season 1?
Gonna be it?
Is it going to be it?
Gonna have to come back next week.
I think that's Connor actually asking, is this going to be it?
No, totally not.
You know I'm not gonna answer that.
Trying to
I
drag it
know.
out. Trying to drag it out.
You know I'm just randomly gonna be like, and that's where we end this season.
Okay, I got the gang name.
Bam.
We're just simply known as Los Demonios, or the Devils.
I love that. That's great. So you and this group kind of run around. You kind of all work under... You're all fairly equal, but there is one man who's a little bit older. He kind of runs the thing. His name is Hernando. He kind of runs this Los Demonos.
Los Demonios.
Demonios. Sorry, I don't speak
Yeah.
Spanish. And as you're kind of going around, you grow up. Again, you're just seeing phases of your life. And you start making money, which you've never had. You spend it on whatever you want. Just the whims of yourself.
Of youth.
Yeah. That's a good way to put it. The whims of youth.
Yeah.
Nice fast horse.
And eventually you notice that Garrett you see that he doesn't really spend his money, but he kind of sends it places. And eventually you ask him and you find out that he's sending it to your mother. So you start, pitching in a little bit here and there, but not really as much as he does. And one day, you're off on some score, and you find yourself with a bullet through the chest. And as you're kind of riding by yourself, you slump off your horse and you find that you're lying in the sand alone. And immediately, it's almost like deja vu as you realize that you've seen this before. You've seen this vision. You know what's going to happen. You remember being back at the Durst Manor when the shadow took you in, and you know what's happening in this moment. And in your mind, you hear a voice. Deep voice. It says, Silas, do you fear the afterlife?
Yes.
Do you fear the judgment that awaits you?
Yes. More than anything. Sorry. Yes, more than anything.
Are you willing to sell your soul to me?
Anything.
I will save you, Silas.
Anything. I'll do anything.
Good. And then, just like that, almost as if a shadow passes over you, you wake up. Your chest is all healed. Blood still stains your shirt. And then you hear almost a whisper in the back of your mind. I will come back.
That was crazy.
Yeah, 2 voices. That was pretty good. Okay. And you hear that he says, I will come back for my end of the bargain. And from that moment, you kind of forget about this situation. It just kind of became a time of the past. Something that happened, but you don't really remember. And as you continue through your life, eventually you find yourself meeting a girl, falling in love, and she makes you want to be better. She makes you want to change, but you know that you're in too deep. I know that you've said it before, but remind us of what her name is.
Anna Maria.
Anna Maria. And you and Anna Maria kind of carve away your little home. And you have kids. Do you know what your kids' names are? Sorry, I didn't
Oh,
think
you're
about
good.
that before. So,
Nope, this is great. Um, yeah.
Kevin, Bevan, and Devin.
Right? No, I've got two. I've got a boy and a girl.
Oh, all right.
And the boy's name is Anton. And the girl's name is. Hold on. Rosa.
and one day, and you see them grow up, and one day you notice that your son kind of starts acting like you did as a kid. And it kind of makes you think, do I really want my kid to turn out like me? So you go to Garrett. Try to find a way out. Garrett just turns to you and says, Silas, there's no way out. We're too far in. What do you mean?
I mean, who would be the only ones holding this together? Fernando were to disappear. You and I, who could disband things if Fernando were to disappear?
Look, I just don't think the rest would follow. I mean, Hernando, he's been there forever. I mean, I know
That's
he's
what I'm saying.
not
Suddenly
the best
he's not.
guy, but
Suddenly he's not around anymore. You and I could make our leave then. If you catch my drift.
I mean, where would we go?
You know, my wife has some family south. They protect their kin down there. I know that she thinks you're not the best influence on me, but if I speak for you, you could come with us. Listen, you don't even have to be the one to do it. Okay, leave Hernando to me.
Right.
And hey, it's between you and me, right?
Yeah. Of course it is.
Always.
Just us.
Just us.
And do you want to describe what it is that you would do?
Yeah, what's our hideout like?
There's kind of an old cabin up in the mountains.
Yeah.
That's kind of where you all meet up.
All right. I'm gonna go find wherever Hernando stays.
Him.
His spot. I'm gonna say, hey,
Silas. Silas. What a score.
Yeah.
I mean, can you even imagine all this? You did some good work today.
Thank you. There's some close calls for sure. But that's actually why I came in here. You see, I got a lead. Score would be 3 times what we got today. Problem is, my man, he needs some convincing. Now, we have a reputation around these parts, but it's not us that does, but you see. So he agreed to give us some more information, provided he holds a meeting with you.
Well, I'm in.
Great. Now there's an old mine shaft. It's up the canyon a ways. Probably about 5 or 6 miles. He said he's willing to meet us there tonight. You and me.
Well, let's go. That sounds. I could never pass up anything like that. That sounds great.
Good.
Stands up and starts collecting his things.
Yeah, we'll leave around. We'll leave once the sun goes down.
All right.
Yeah. And I don't want to tell the guys about this yet. I don't want to get their hopes up. I know there's been a couple times that jobs like this have fallen through, so I figure no skin off our teeth if we can't just meet this guy and see if he's for real.
All right.
Okay, and then
that sounds fine. Oh,
Then I'm gonna go. Yep. And then I'm gonna go find Garrett.
Okay.
I'm gonna say, all right. Make sure no one leaves here. You hear?
Yeah.
Remember what we talked about.
Yeah, just you and me.
Yeah. And then Silas is gonna go get ready. He's gonna saddle up his horse. He is going to clean his I'm gonna go find a place by himself to clean his gunfighting gun, which is his right-handed, his main revolver. Put fresh bullets in it and everything.
Okay.
He's gonna sort of get ready for the showdown.
Okay. And as the sun begins to set, you find yourself up at the mine shaft. And you hear another horse coming up the hill. And you recognize the large black Mustang as it trots towards you. And Hernando hops off.
You weren't followed, were you?
No. No one followed.
Good.
So, where's the guy? Where's your man?
I'm gonna hop off. I want to kind of look around. I'm going to say, I'm not sure. I let him know we couldn't come till night. He said he'd, so I kind of go, pretending like I'm looking for something, you know.
Yeah.
He said if he wasn't here that he'd leave us a note, I think. Somewhere around the opening to the mine.
All right. Well, this better not be a setup.
You and I are the best shots in the group. I think we can handle it if it is.
You're right. Yes.
He's seen.
We've fought our way out of the cavalry before. He kind of hops off his horse.
Here, I'll look over here if you look over yonder. I kind of gesture towards the mine shaft.
Okay.
It'd be quicker if we both look.
And he goes and he begins to like kind of look around.
And once he gets like to the mine shaft, like I'm not imagining this is like a hole in the ground. You know what I mean? Like just like a doorway that like enters into a mine, right?
Mm-hmm.
If once he gets over there, I'm gonna stay about 20 yards away and sort of like counter over towards where the horses are. You find it yet? I'm kind of calling out as I'm slowly walking over.
Not yet.
And then I'm gonna kind of like kick the dirt a little bit underneath my boots, sort of get like some solid footing. Make sure my feet are about, shoulder width apart. I'm gonna put my duster back and flap it around the back of my body so that my gun, the right hand side, is exposed. And I'm gonna just yell out, "Hey, boss."
He kind of turns around.
I know that you've been good to me these many years. I know that me and Garrett have made you a lot of money. And I never wanted to be so rude as to not thank my teachers. But I got a family now. My wife, she's been continually worried that one day my son will have to wake up without a father, like I did. Or that he'll turn out just like me and want to join your organization. Now, I'm going to give you one chance. Only because you took a chance on me. I want to leave. I want to be done. And I want you to leave me alone. And my family. And Garrett, too, if he chooses to come with me. My hand is just like hovering over the grip of my revolver in my holster.
And he, again, kind of lines you up. He says, "Now, Silas, you know me. We don't have to do this."
Hernando, I do know you. And you and I both know that we absolutely do. My hand kind of like twitches a little bit.
Well, I guess what they say is sometimes you make your own demons. And I never thought that it would be you. But here we are. Do you see that his hand is getting awfully close to his gun?
I'll hold a reaction. If he moves closer, I'm gonna shoot him.
Then he's gonna go, now Silas, why don't we just go back down to camp, have a drink. And then its hand shoots towards his gun.
Yeah. And then yeah, I'll draw mine. And I'll shoot him.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a roll.
Okay. One shot. I'm leaning back a little bit. Just gonna do one
Okay.
shot and go center mass is when I'm trying to hit him.
Okay.
And for thematic purposes, it's gonna be a violent shot.
Okay. And yeah, I'm not really going off mechanics. I mean, either way, yeah.
Actually, can I change that? Can I change this?
Yeah.
Okay, because mechanically I have a disarming shot, which I have never used.
Okay.
I would like to do that instead.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna try and shoot his gun out of his hand. Or
Okay.
shoot his hand so he would drop his gun.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna say that you get this fire off and you're going for his gun, and it bounces his gun out of from shooting you. You
Yeah.
feel the bullet whiz past you,
Gotcha.
but he still
Okay.
holds it.
All right. Well, yeah, we're just in a gunfight now. It's
Yeah, and just
I'm gonna- yeah.
thematically, what do you just like shoot him again with your offhand?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would actually probably, instead of drawing my other gun, I'd probably fan. I'd essentially do like a like an action surge, right? If I had multiple attacks,
Yeah.
and I would just I just fan the hammer and I'd shoot as many as quickly as I could.
Okay.
Hoping one
And-
will land. Just trying to get fire superiority.
Yeah. And
And
so
as I'm doing it, I'm kind of like crouched. Sorry.
no,
I'm
you're
like-
good. Yeah.
So as I shoot it and I hear the bullet whiz past my head, I'm going to like lean down and start crouch walking slowly to my right as I do that.
Okay.
As I fan at him, because I'm going to try and move. Hopefully he's in the doorway. He can't move very much in the
Yeah.
mine
Oh
shaft.
yeah, for sure.
Okay.
And so you bang, 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 and he's still standing, but on that last one, bang, and he flies back and falls over.
Okay.
He gets a couple shots before, but they again over his head. You maybe
Okay.
knocked his gun out of sight or something.
I'm gonna holster that revolver and I'm gonna keep my eyes on the entryway to the mine as I draw my other revolver. Cock the hammer back and walk slowly forward. I'm gonna get close enough to where I can see if he's breathing or not.
Yeah, he's still breathing,
Okay.
and you see he kind of coughs a little bit.
Are you through?
I taught you well.
I didn't want this to end this way. I hope you know that. I gave you a chance. Cut me loose.
He just kind of keeps coughing up blood, and he's like, just go.
I'm not. I may be a devil, but I'm not a monster. As I walk up, and as I get into the mine shaft, I say, that shot will take you minutes before you die. Let me put you out of your misery.
And you hear a click, click, click.
From where?
From kind of your abdomen area.
Okay.
It's slow click, and you know that it's of a hammer. As he's holding his gun to your stomach.
Gotcha. Okay.
You know there's only one way out. As he coughs.
I'm out. Sorry, I'm trying to picture this in my brain. I thought that he had that he was laying down in the mine shaft. He was standing up.
No, he's laying down, but didn't you lean over him?
No, I just walked to his feet,
Oh.
essentially.
Okay,
I'm
well,
just standing where at the end of his feet. I'm not gonna lean.
okay. Well, yeah, you
Sorry.
still hear the hammer
Yeah.
go back.
Okay.
You know, and you know him. He's dirty. He's
Yeah.
not gonna let you
Yeah.
yeah. So you know that he's
Yeah, I'll shoot him.
gonna try to get a shot at.
Yeah. I'll try and jump out of the way and finish him off.
And yeah, you're able to.
Okay. I'm going to drag his body. I'm going to light a lantern, and I'm going to drag his body deep into the mine until I find a hole in the ground. And then I'm going to dump his body in it.
Okay. And then
I'm going to go out in the canyon, and then I'm going to slap the butt of the horse that's his in the direction of the opposite where I'm going, so up the canyon, essentially. And then I'm going to get on my horse, and reload my gun, both of them, and then start riding back to the camp.
Are you gonna go into the camp, or are you just leaving?
I actually probably would just ride home.
Okay.
I think. Yeah.
Perfect. So as you kind of go home, you talk to your wife, you tell her the situation, and you decide to leave the next day. And as you run into town to get some last supplies, you buy your stuff, get everything ready to go. And as you're riding back to your house, you see a little bit of fire. Or actually, trying to remember back to the flashback, keep some continuity. You hear gunshots as you get closer to your house.
I spur my horse and ride faster.
Okay. And as you get to your house, you see what appears to be a gunfight. And you know that it's your group. It's your gang. You don't know how. You don't know what happened. but somehow they figured it out. And you run in, and it picks up again where you remember. And you see, once again, the last moments of your life. And upon you dying, you again wake up back in Barovia. This time, you awaken to morning. And you see Killian. Would you have set up some sort of a watch? Would you have gotten Xeno? What would you have done with Silas throughout the night?
It depends how long it I mean, if it lasted throughout the night.
Yeah, the seizing would stop, but he did not wake up throughout the night.
Oh, the season. Okay, if the seizing stops, if the seizing would have stopped, I would have, carried him back into camp. Let everybody kind of know that he's not doing so hot. I don't know what happened. Just found him. But yeah, I would probably stay with him for a while, and until he started to get tired. Try his best not to fall asleep, but just be somewhat near, I guess. And then if somebody offered to pitch in to help, then I would go to sleep.
I would definitely come to Killian and switch him out at some point so that he can get a long rest.
Yeah.
Especially since I know I'm not gonna sleep tonight.
Okay. And we're going to do a little bit of a time back. Xeno, as you're watching through the night, as it gets to earlier morning, you don't know how it got there, but you see a letter hanging in a tree. But as you pick it up, you notice that on this seal is a raven. Have you seen... Oh, yeah, you've seen the crest of Strahd, right?
Yes.
Okay. That's what it is.
I will immediately crack the seal and open it up.
All right. Let me grab this here letter for you.
What? Oh boy. I can feel it.
Did it come through?
Yes. My friends know that it is I who have brought you to this land, my home, and that I alone can release you from it. I bid you dine at my castle so that we can meet in civilized surroundings. Your passage here will be a safe one. I await your arrival. Your host, Strahd von Zarovich. Well, that's gonna be interesting.
And now we can Fast forward to Silas waking up. Not moments before did you receive this letter. And then Silas takes his breath back into life.
You are alive.
I guess despite my best efforts.
Well, are you feeling any better?
I don't know.
Killian said you were having quite the fit last night. And it
I don't-
appeared you were asleep. Or... I mean, honestly, you kind of just looked dead.
Yeah, it kind of feels like I was as I stretch a little bit and get up.
Well, as I'll hold up the ladder, kind of show the symbol. We got fan mail from our favorite person. Strahd's invited us to dinner at his castle.
Really?
There's something about wanting to meet in a civilized environment. If you can call an evil madman's abode a civilized environment.
Well, whatever the reason, we should take him up on his offer.
I agree, but we also should not bring Irina.
No, I think we take her to Valaki first.
Yes,
Drop her off to the priest, and then head up.
I like that idea.
And almost immediately, you hear the creak of a door opening. And you see standing at the edge of the road,
Oh my gosh.
a parked black carriage drawn by two horses. And you see puffs of steamy breath come out of their nostrils as the door welcomes you in. And that's where we're going to end this session.
Oh my gosh.
Oh. Who could it be?
That was so good. That was so amazing.
I
So
guess
much
they're gonna
good
have to come back
roleplay
next
from all
week.
three of us. Good
All right,
job,
thanks.
Tyson. Thank
Yeah, you guys
Tyson.
all did so good.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Zeno.
I really enjoyed role playing with
Zeno
both
killed
of
it.
you.
Yeah. Man, well, thanks so much for watching. You can follow us on our socials below. Stay tuned for more Curse of Strahd season finale coming next week.
Oh boy, oh boy,
Yeah.
oh boy.
And then afterwards, we're going to be getting into Theros season 2. Heroes of Theros coming back at you.
Oh,
Dang.
So,
holy cow.
We're back, boys.
We're back.
So if you haven't caught up on that, we will be having kind of a recap episode beforehand. We also have all 50 plus episodes posted wherever you can get your podcasts. So please go check it out or stay tuned.
Check them out.
Yeah, do yourself a favor.
Yeah, and if you haven't, join us for the recap. Watch
Yeah.
it. We'll go over all the highlights and all the lowlights, and you'll be caught up to speed and ready, even if you
You
don't
get to
even watch
meet-
all the episodes.
Yeah,
Let's meet all the
It is a roller
players.
coaster.
it's going to be so good.
It's gonna be great.
So stay tuned for that. And if you want to support us on Patreon, We are at PG-DND, or you can follow us in the links below. We will catch you next time, and as always, remember that we love you. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.